Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the spot Bitcoin ETFs that are consuming the news cycle for anyone involved in the financial industries, and even mainstream is making a big deal because now companies like BlackRock and Grayscale and 21 Shares and all those are actually going after these Bitcoin ETFs, these exchange traded products, these exchange traded funds. And I got a different kind of thought on it, and I'm going to share that thought. A little while back, not much, I did a video, and it was entitled Bit by Bit, Buy Bitcoin, and Get Bit if you sit on it. And it's not a very popular line of thought, but I've been watching events with this exchange traded product getting ready to come out, the ETFs, with Bitcoin being the basis of it, and watching the market activity of Bitcoin. And although this may not be a popular concept either, I'm going to talk about it for just a little while, about what may be actually happening with Bitcoin, especially if you consider some of the information that was in this video. For instance, but it says that crypto funds hit $342 million outflow streak as Bitcoin bucks the trend. Now, you'll probably recall in the prior video, if you watched it, I thank you for that. If you didn't, maybe you should. But I finished it out with some comments about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is the flagship, the leader, and quite possibly the bait. Take, for example, the price action of Bitcoin. Since I did that video, which was around September 4th, I did that video. And around that time, it was trading in the $25,000 to $26,000 range. Now it's at the $43,600 range. You see it there on the screen. So it has gone up. And generally what happens when things go up, it draws the attention of what I'll term the masses, what the financial institutions call the minnows. It draws their attention. And so surely in this run here, they drew not just our attention, who's already here in the markets, but they drew the attention of others to come into the markets. But what did they do after that when it came time for Bitcoin, BlackRock and them to make sure they own the asset that they're going to create the ETF for? They have to own the asset. So they have to spark enough attention in the masses to see it as a viable, valuable, potential, good return on their investment. But at the same time, they have to make sure that they're buying low so that they can sell high. So they did that. And then notice what happens in the 7-day range. All this money comes in that I just showed you, and then look at this fall. Now, for those new to the crypto markets, how many can really stomach this fall? Most cannot. It's really not that dramatic. It's only roughly, if you look here, it's 4,600 to 4,200. You're looking at about a 10% drop. And in the crypto market, that's nothing. But for those new to the market, that's frightening. So they shake you up a little bit, and they get an opportunity to buy more high. How do I know that to be true? Well, look down here and compare the volumes up until this point. Look at the volume. And then look what happens when it's going down. Look at the volume. Look what happens when it's going down. Look what's going the volume. Who's creating that volume? So here's my proposition about this Bitcoin ETF. And it's up to you if it fits in your paradigm or not. It's how I see what's going on. Now that they have successfully generated enough interest to make people want to grab a hold of Bitcoin and making it easier for people to buy Bitcoin bit by bit, Satoshi by Satoshi, by creating these exchange traded funds. You could always do that anyway, But see, now they own the asset. And they own an asset that could very well prove to be a trap, like I said earlier. I really encourage you to go watch my videos about it. I'll put cards, relevant cards on this video so that you can. But this is not normal mainstream thinking, not even within our YouTubes and X Twitters and all these other communities for cryptocurrencies. This may be just my own. Well, I know it's not my own, and I'll show you someone else who has a similar opinion. But where I'm going with this is they then have assets under management, and then what they do is they begin to sell portions of those assets to you. And what happens when they start selling you those ETFs? Keep in mind, they have to own the product, and they want to sell you ownership of the product. And you can bet that they're going to buy low, as I said earlier, and they're going to sell to you high. But they have to make you convinced that there's even higher yet still to come. Otherwise, it's not a wise investment for you. So they tell you it's going to go from 40,000 to 400,000, from 400,000 to a million. And what if they're doing that knowing very well that Bitcoin is going to be among those that die? I'm not saying that it is, but I am absolutely saying that it's possible, because assets under management is the market value of the investments managed by a person or entity on behalf of clients. So yes, all these ETF authorized participants will own the asset, but then they will sell that asset to you. When they sell that asset to you, you assume the risk. You assume the risk because they've already taken their profit from you. And so, how do you get rid of something that you know is going to go bad? You wrap it up and you make it look pretty and you make it look like a deal. I'll tell you what first comes to my mind. You go to the grocery store and they have product that they have to sell it in a hurry or it's going to go bad. It could be in the meat counter. It could be in the dairy counter. It could be anywhere. Usually it's perishables, right? And they know it's going to go bad. And they only got 2 days on it. It becomes the meat manager special. Buy this, you get $1 off per pound, $2 off per pound. The eggs are going bad. You get an extra dozen. Buy one, get one free. They got to unload what they know is going bad. How do they unload Bitcoin when they know it's going to go bad? What evidence is there that they know it's going to go bad? Okay, I'm going to have to first put a disclaimer out there and say, please forgive this man's language, because he speaks out raw. But here's indication that those in the know just may know that Bitcoin is absolutely going to go bad.
If you knew who was really behind Bitcoin, you would run as fast as you fucking could to sell it. I know, 100%. And when the real founder of Bitcoin comes out, it is my humble opinion, and there's nothing humble about me, Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
One day.
In a microsecond, whoop, like that.
And so how can I help wrap this up in a nutshell of what the whole point of this video is? Many own Bitcoin who are in the know. And many in the know may know that Bitcoin is going to fall flat on its face, just as Dave PENA says. However, they have to devise a method to unload on retail. Just like they recently did with their stocks. You notice they were dumping stocks while the market was running high. So they want to run Bitcoin high. The average person can't afford to buy a Bitcoin, not a single one Bitcoin at $40-some thousand. But millions of people, perhaps even billions of people, can buy pieces of a Bitcoin. So they commandeer the Bitcoin market by shaking it loose from you with the scare tactics of the video that I presented here bit by bit. They get everyone to buy it bit by bit in these exchange traded products. In so doing, they're unloading and transferring their ownership of Bitcoin to you in these exchange traded funds. And it's like saying, well, I can sell this 10-piece item to one person for $50, or I can break it up into pieces, and I'll break it up into 50 pieces, and I'll sell each piece for $2. You see the math? $50 became 100. And so bit by bit, everyone buys the Bitcoin. But if you sit on it, you get bit, because they know PENA's right and it's going to fail. But they don't own it anymore. They just have the asset under management until it crashes. You own it and you lose. And yes, it maybe his assumption that it's his knowledge. I don't know if it's an assumption of knowledge that it's Putin. See, they always get you to hate Putin, hate the BRICS. The BRICS are going to kill the hegemony of the dollar. So they get you to accept the reason for Bitcoin crashing, and so you don't blame them. But they still have successfully sold their product that they know is going bad to as many people to liquidate their market as they can, while making that market believe that they are getting a deal, something special, something that's going to be X number of dollars today and 100X dollars tomorrow. Oh yes, somebody is going to make money. They definitely are, as they transfer the risk to those who buy into the ETFs. But you can avoid losing money by making your money and doing just as this video concluded, and I will let it conclude this video. I'm DK Will, this is DK Will Talk About It, and I have talked about it. Have a wonderful day. Because they want you to run away from certain cryptos and they want you to follow what's bucking the trend into Bitcoin. Let me be clear. Can you make money in Bitcoin? You can make money in any coin if you buy low and you sell high. But nobody makes any money. Nobody loses any money until somebody sells something. They can either be selling to you or you can be selling to them. But somebody's got to sell something. So if you are, and you've watched my prior video regarding Bitcoin, who's bucking the trend, just make your money and run.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.